Yo, what is going on, you guys? Garrett Fankhauser with FFL Funnels right here. So for those of you guys who don't know, we help FFL dealers scale their businesses online. We help you guys make more money and get more clients and all that other fun stuff. Um, cool. So it's been a minute since I've been on here. For those of you guys who have watched my content before, appreciate you for being on this video too, watching this. I was able to bring in some help on the sales side. So instead of taking sales calls all freaking day, I actually have a little bit of time here and there to now put out more content for you guys. So for those of you who have been following me for a long time, I am very excited to say that you can expect a lot more of this to be coming very soon. Today, I have a super important one for you. I've covered some of this stuff before, but we're really going to dig into this as far as like an introductory type like video today. And I'm going to do some more in-depth, detailed videos on this concept later, but this is something super, super important. We're going to be talking about customer lifetime value. And for those of you with brick and mortar stores, maybe you're tracking this as well on there, and that's great. This is something that should be tracked realistically in any type of business, whether you're home based, just out of your garage or a shop on your property, you have a full on brick and mortar store, or you are online only, or you have online plus the other situations. It really doesn't matter. But this is something huge, right? So we're going to cover this in a little bit more detail, and I want to walk you guys through why it's important and how you can apply this to your business. Cool. So again, lifetime value. Let's get into this stuff, right? So we're going to cover why it actually matters for your business. So let me move it to where my big fat face is not in your way. Many FFL dealers are primarily only focused on getting that one sale. They expect that people are going to come back, right? They're like, yeah, I do transfers or whatever, or people they get hooked on my customer service, and that's great. But you need a system to make sure that they come back, not just hope that they come back, right? So many people are only focused on that one-time sale and not so much the repeat business, and that really holds a lot of you guys back. I mean, 9.9 out of 10 dealers that I talk to don't have any actual like systems in place to get repeat business, and that is hurting you guys. It's keeping you from having consistent sales. It's keeping you from hitting the amount of dollars that you guys actually want to hit in sales, and it's really just holding you back from scaling this thing. So the real money is in how much a customer actually spends with you over time, right? Making 2500 bucks, even $1,000 the first time is great. It's important. You need it to pay the bills. You need it to pay your employees. You need it to take money out for yourself, whatever it is. But we really want to focus on getting repeat business and making that happen. Now, if you don't know your LTV, you're most likely making decisions blindly and probably underspending on marketing, right? Because basically, if you don't know these numbers, you're kind of just guessing. So I'm going to walk through this. I'm going to try and keep this video short for you guys because I know that for me personally, I don't like videos that are super, super long. So just know that I'm trying to keep this as short as possible, but still give you guys maximum value. So what the hell is LTV? Lifetime value equals the total revenue a customer generates for your business over their lifetime, right? The lifetime, not literally of them like living and dying, but the lifetime of them being a customer of yours. So we can say, like, instead of how much do I make on this one sale, it's like, how much will a customer spend with me over the next year, 3 years, 5 years, 15 years? So we'll dig into some of this stuff, but this is one of the big things right here, because there's another concept that this really ties into called customer financed acquisition, and that's basically where you make enough on each customer to pay to acquire the next customer and still have some left over. So we'll get into that later as well. I have covered that in the past, but guys, this is so important, right? For you guys to know and understand this. This is what the big dogs understand that you don't if you're not a big dog. And if you're watching this and you feel like you're a big dog, you're probably not as big as you think, right? So this is the kind of stuff that can help you get there. So we'll start by how to actually calculate LTV. So it's a pretty basic formula. So lifetime value equals the average order value times purchase frequency times customer lifespan. Now, some of this you might have to guess, right? Because maybe you're newer, maybe you don't have 20 years of data or whatever, and that's fine. But you can guess based on like some assumptions, as well as one of the bigger things here is tracking numbers. If you guys have a POS system, that's great. Use it. Use it to actually track the numbers. If you guys have a website that we built, we can track this stuff. This stuff is trackable in our system. The other thing, though, is that if you don't have a website that we built, first of all, I'm sorry. But second of all, I don't know what you have in your system, so I can't tell you if your website will tell you this stuff. But what we want to find out is AOV. AOV is another important one, right? Average order value. So I just used an example of $200 here. Um, it's probably a good example. I mean, many dealers that we have on a regular basis, I've seen 450 as an average order value. But we're going to use $200 because it's just kind of an easy one. So basically, what this looks like is your average customer. So basically, what that means is that you take all your orders, all of them, for a specific period of time, let's say a year, and then you divide them by how many sales, right? You divide the amount by how many sales, right? So y'all can figure this out, right? If not, just Google it. But figure out your average order value. That's a different video. But once you have that, right, and then you figure out, okay, it's $200. So doing this in a smaller increment as well would be easier, right? How many dollars did you sell this month? And then how many orders did it take to sell that many dollars, right? So if it's you sold $50,000 and it was 10 sales, right? You do $50,000 divided by 10, right? So 50,000 divided by 10. That means that each sale, your average order value was 5,000, right? Just as an example. Cool. So now that you have that purchase frequency. So this is really good to when you track your numbers, you should know this. Like on average, how often are people buying from me? Because you can check individual customers and you should be able to, if you have a good POS system, you should be able to run this data or a good sales system. Now, customer lifespan, this one's the one where you kind of have to you might have to do a little bit of like fidgeting with because like maybe some of you don't have a ton of data, maybe you just got a POS system, maybe you haven't tracked it or whatever, but the idea is to figure out how much people order on average, how many times people buy from you per year, and then how long they typically shop with you, right? So like maybe on average it's 5 years. Like if you get a new customer, they're most likely going to buy 3 times per year and they're going to spend $200 per order, right? So basically, that's $600 per year times 5 years, 6 times 5, right? So that's basically what we do right here. Is we say 200 times 3 times 5, right? Because we're doing this up here. Purchase frequency to lifespan. So it's 3,000, right? So that's what we come up with. If you only focus on the first sale, $200, you will hesitate to invest in marketing. You will hesitate to set up um, systems in place that will get you return buyers, and that's a huge mistake. If you know that a customer is worth $3,000, you can confidently spend more on them to make a strong ROI, right? This is the number one reason that most business owners don't invest in marketing. It's because they don't know this right here. They don't know what their average customer is worth. This is basically saying that over a 5 year period, on average, every single new customer you get is worth $3,000. So if you have to spend $500 in marketing to get that person, that's fine because there's still $2,500 net that you make from this transaction. So what that means is that you can spend $500 per person in advertising to get them to come through the door because you know that they're going to be worth 3K in the next 5 years. And we don't give a shit necessarily as much about today as we do in having a consistent and growing business over the next 5 years. Today is important, but you guys want to build a long term growth oriented business. If you don't, then you shouldn't really be doing this. Two, you shouldn't really be watching this video. And three, like if you're going to sell this or something else within the next 5 years, that's cool. You should know these numbers anyways, because the person that wants to buy your business is going to want to know this shit. So, regardless of what type of setup you have, this is so freaking important to know. All right. So now, now that you know the LTV, like how does that help you scale faster, right? So again, dealers that focus on one-time sales struggle to grow. Dealers who understand lifetime value can spend more in marketing and customer acquisition, right? This is what you're here to do. You're not selling guns, you're not selling ammo, you're not selling gear. Like that's what most of you guys got into this as. And it's the same problem that most chefs have or whatever, but it's like they like cooking, so they start a business, but then they realize that in order to sell food, you have to know how to run a business. You have to know how to sell. And so that's why most people that are chefs work for somebody else because they don't know how to sell. They don't know how to run a business. So for you guys that love guns and kind of got into this because you had a shit experience at the shop down the road and you think that you can do better than them or whatever, the way that you can do better than them is to figure this out because this is like one of the most important concepts, right? This is how it helps you scale faster. The exact thing that I covered when I was up here. How to increase, right? Now that we know what it is, how to actually increase this? How do we get more people to buy from you more often? Increasing purchase frequency is going to be one, right? So basically, what we want to do is we want to increase these three variables. I'm sorry, these three variables up here: AOV, purchase frequency, or customer lifespan, right? So we can do one, we can do two, we can do all three. All three is ideal, but basically increase the purchase frequency, right? Get more sales, right? So you can do email, text message marketing, like our command center is something that we use for this, but basically increase the amount of times that they purchase, right? So if they're purchasing 3 times per year, let's make that five, right? If you can make that five on average, this is going to bump this up huge, right? So let's do 200 times 5 times 5, right? So that's 5,000. So that's an extra $2,000 per person per year. I'm sorry, per person that your LTV goes up, right? So just by fixing that one problem, right, getting people to buy more often. Now we can also raise the average order value, right? So you can offer bundles, you can upsell stuff, you can add exclusive deals. I mean, there's tons and tons of different ways of doing this, right? One-time offers, hey, as people are checking out, you can offer some ammo or some other stuff to go with it, that type of stuff. And you can do this in store as well as online, right? So do both. Why not? Same concept up here, right? If we increase the average order value to like 500 or 450 or whatever it is here, that's going to go up. And now the other thing here is we want to, the other way of doing this is extend the customer lifespan. So this is something that, again, in our systems, we build around both of, or all three of these. We help you guys, or we help dealers increase purchase frequency. We help them raise their average order value by giving you guys the tools to do this type of stuff. And then the last thing that we do is help you guys extend customer lifespan by doing like memberships, loyalty rewards programs, different things like that. And then you guys, of course, are responsible for kicking ass and killing it in the customer service side so that people want to come back, right? Give them a good experience. So if you can increase one or three or two or three of these things, everything's going to significantly get better for you, right? All right, so let's go to the last one that I have here. So this is just a suggestion, right? Kind of the whole wrap up of this. Um, Stop thinking small, right? You guys are too focused on making a sale today. You're too focused on what's my ROI this week, this month. That's great. You have to do that. So I'm not saying not to focus on that stuff or to like be reckless in how you operate, but like, dude, think about the next 5 years, the next 15 years. Like, how do you see this business operating then? Even if you're not building this to be a 20-year venture, if you operate on the quick dollar overnight sale type thing, like eventually you're going to run into scaling problems because you're not actually optimizing your business to make more money. You're optimizing your business to get more customers, but not make more money. So you're going to lose money and eventually get to a point where you're basically playing the race to the bottom game. So if you look at one sale, you're limiting your growth. Start focusing around a more LTV mindset, right? More customers, higher profits, and a scalable business is really the focus. I'm going to do some more videos on this, right? So I do have some more videos kind of planned. Just going to see kind of how the priorities work out, but I'll show you how to increase LTV even further. That's going to be one of the main focuses that we look into as far as like more details on how this stuff actually works. Now, what's next? Um, Guys, if you need help with this stuff, like this is what we do. These are part of the systems that we implement for our dealers that work with us and customers, clients, whatever it is. Um, this is what we do. So if you need help, comment below this video, DM me. I'll show you how we help other dealers do this literally every freaking day, and how we have tons of dealers that are absolutely crushing it using this system. That's getting them a better average order value, more customers, and more purchasing frequency than most of their competitors, as well as like how they were set up before they started working with us. Cool. Hopefully this is helpful, you guys. And my God, I really hate over here. Oh, this little like thing blurs out my whole setup. But hope you guys like my cool AI gun background. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.